Hello children, let's begin our maths class. Let us have a recap of what we have done in our previous classes. So what were the things that we have seen in our previous classes? We dealt with a rational number. Yes children? So what is a rational number? Rational number is represented by the symbol Q, and rational number is presented in the form P upon Q. That is, it is written in the form P upon Q. That is, you have a numerator upon denominator where Q is not equal to 0. So, this is the condition that we have to follow for a rational number. Yes. And also we have seen the two ways of expressing a rational number. How can be a rational number expressed as? A rational number can be expressed as 1. First one is terminating decimal expansion. What is the first way of expression? It's terminating decimal expansion. That means we can change the rational number. That is, we can change the fraction in terms of decimal. So when you change the rational number in terms of decimal, you may get a terminating decimal expansion. Now what is the meaning of terminating? Terminating means the number stops. In simple language, the value stops. Like if you have 3.54, okay, the value is 3.54. You don't have any extra value along with this. Getting the point, children? Okay. Now, we have one more thing to be noted here. We have non-terminating and non-recurring. Non-terminating and recurring. It's not non-recurring, it's recurring. So what is the next way of expressing a rational number? The second way of expressing a rational number is non-terminating and recurring. What is the meaning of non-terminating? Non-terminating means the number goes on. Like you have a number like 4.565656 dot 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 dot. That means you don't have a termination of the numbers. The numbers never stops. It goes on. What is the meaning of recurring? Recurring means the number gets repeated. Now here, just look at this number, children. The number 565656. So we have a set of numbers which goes on repeating. So we call this as non-terminating. Why you call it as non-terminating? Because it's not going to be stopped. It's going on. And why you call it as recurring? Because the number goes on repeating. So what are the two ways of expressing a rational number? You have a terminating decimal expansion, and also you have a non-terminating and recurring decimal expansion. So this was for rational number. So we have just seen two ways. Yes, children? So we have seen how to write a rational number in the form of decimal, and also we started with writing the decimal number in form of rational number. Yes, that is in exercise 2.2 we have started with sum number 4. So in sum number 4 we were given with a decimal expansion, and we have to write a decimal expansion in terms of rational numbers, and I have given you some sums. I hope you would have completed that sums. Were you clear with that concept, children? Yes. So just go on trying. If you have any confusions, if you have any doubts, just look at the sum. Okay, just look at the sum. Just see the method. Just go on trying. Just try once, try twice. Automatically you will be getting an idea. Okay, so this is the way the sum is being done. So just follow up the sum. Concentrate in the classes carefully. Okay, just you have to sit and you have to listen wherever we say to listen, wherever we say to take down notes, you have to take down notes, and wherever the work is there, writing work is there, you have to do the writing work. First thing is concentration. So concentration is a very, very important thing you people have to focus on. So once you concentrate on any particular subject, you are going to be clear with that concept. I hope you're clear with the thing that I'm saying. Okay. So what are the two things that we have seen? We have seen how to convert a rational number in terms of decimal expansion, and also we have seen how to convert a decimal expansion in terms of rational numbers. So we have just seen a few examples. Yes, very few examples. Only two examples were done, and I have just given some extra questions from this type of conversions. So today we are just going to continue with sum number 4. So take down your classwork, children. Get ready with your classwork. Write down today's date and day. Write down today's date and day. present your sums neatly. You know the method, you know the rules that to be followed. You have to draw a margin and a rough column, and you have to draw the line as soon as you complete a sum. Have a habit of drawing the line after you complete a sum. So in every page, there should be a rough column and a margin. Okay, shall we start with the sum? So you have written your date and day. Okay, so now write on question number 4, the third subpart. The first subpart was done in the class, okay, student? And I gave you the second subpart as homework, and along with the second sum, I have given you some extra sums. So now take down the third subpart. Exercise 2.2, question number 4, the third subpart. It's minus 5.132. Minus 5.132. Now here in the sum there was no bar. That is, we have done the first sum. In the first sum we had a bar. What is the meaning of bar? That numbers, the set of numbers is going to be repeated. So we just use a bar. The bar indicates that particular number is going to repeat again and again. But in this sum, in the third subpart, you don't have any bar. It's just 5 minus 5.132. That is 5.132 along with the negative sign. Here just a negative number. Okay, let's see how to convert this decimal number in terms of a rational number. So now just see here children, we would have done the step of sum in our lower classes. If you have 5.8, okay, if suppose a number is 5.8, you have a decimal number as 5.8, and I just want to remove the decimal point from this. So how I do? What I have to do? We have to just divide this by 10. Just remove the number, decimal number, and how many numbers are present after decimal? One number is present after decimal. So you have to remove the decimal number and you have to place here 10. 5.8 will be written as 58 upon 10. If you have 6.57, okay, I have to write down this in terms of a rational number. I am just going to remove the decimal point from here. So how many numbers are present after the decimal point? You have 1, 2. So two decimal, that is two numbers after the decimal point. So the first thing is remove the decimal point. So I get 657 upon how many numbers were present after the decimal point? 2. So you have to write down here 100, 2 zeros. Just remember, 2 places means 100, 1 place means 10. If you have one number after decimal point, put 10. If you have two numbers after decimal point, put 100. Three numbers, 1000, and go on. Okay. Now, 3.456. You have a number 3.456. Okay. I have to change this decimal number in terms of a rational number. So what is the first thing we have to do? Remove the decimal point. Yes, good. So put here 3.456. I have removed the decimal point and I have written the number 3456. How many numbers were present of the decimal point? How many numbers, children? 3, yes. So how many zeros you are going to put? 3 zeros. So this 1000. Here, so same manner, I'm just going to use the same concept over here. But here only the difference is we have a negative sign. That's all. A minus sign is present. Okay, children. So let's continue with the sum. So this is equal to minus. Okay, I'm just going to put minus sign in front of it. So minus 5. I'm going to remove the decimal point. So I get 5132. That is 5132. I have removed the decimal point in the numerator part. Okay, upon how many numbers were present after the decimal point, children? 3. Yes. So how many zeros you have to add? 3 zeros. So what is the number form? 1000. Yes. So what do you get? 5132 upon 1000. This is the answer. So you get minus 5132 upon 1000. Very simple things you can see. Because here the bar was not present. Yes, so since the bar was not present, we can do the sums directly. Okay, now if the simplification is possible, we have to do the simplification. You would have done the simplification in your lower classes. Yes, so we can just go on dividing by the numbers. Here the last digit is 2, here the last digit is 0. So these two numbers will be divisible by 2. Do you remember the test of divisibility? Have you studied this? Test of divisibility by 2. Remember children, if you have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 in the last digit, okay, in the ones place. If you have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 in the ones place, then that number is divisible by 2. The number will be divisible by 2. So just see 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 should be present in the ones place. Now here what is the number present in the ones place? 2. Okay. What is the number present here? 0. Yes. So we have a condition. So we can divide this number by 2 and also this number by 2. So let's divide by 2. So what do you get when you divide by 2 children? I'll just do it directly. This is 2 5s are 10. 2 5s are 10. 2 zeros are 0. 2 zeros are 0. Or you can write half of 1000. What is half of 1000? It's 500. Okay. Or you can do the divisions directly. 2 5s are 10 because 1 is not possible. 1 is a single digit number and it is less than 2. So just take the number 10. 2 5s are 10. 0. 2 zeros are 0. Again 0. 2 zeros are 0. You get 500. Okay, now let's come over here to the numerator part. Now 5. So 2 2s are 4. 2 2s are 4. 1 is left. So I'll put the 1 here. 2 5s are 10. Again I have 1 balance. 2 6s are 12. Again 1 balance. 2 6s are. This is minus 2566 upon 500. Are you clear with this? This is a direct cancellations. So what do you get? 2566. If you people feel that you are not able to do the calculations directly, you can do the division and you can show. But you are grown up session, so you should learn to do some of the steps directly. So let me explain to you once again. So 2 5s are 10. Again we have 0. So 2 zeros are 0 and 0, 2 zeros are 0. So 500 is left. Then 2 2s are 4. Okay, here what is their number? 5 is the number. So you don't have 5 in the table of 2. So you have to take the closest number of 5. 2 2s are 4. So what is left? 1 is left. You have to just calculate everything mentally. 2 2s are 4. 1 is left. Just put 1 before this 1. So you get the number 11 now. Okay. So 2 5s are 10. Shall I do here so that you can be able to see carefully? Okay, so we are going to do. So 2 2s are 4. Okay, 2 2s are 4. 1 is left. 2 5s are 10. Again 1 is left. 2 6 are 12. Again 1 is left. There is 13 minus 12, 1. So here 12. 2 6 are 12. So what do you get? 2566 upon 500. Now just check whether further simplification is possible. Now see the last digit children, 6. What is the last digit here? 0. So I have told you if you have 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, these numbers are divisible by 2. So we can divide again by 2. Let us divide again by 2. So now here you have 5, yes? So 2 2s are 4. 5 minus 4, 1. So put here 1. 2 5s are 10. 2 5s are 10. Okay. Now what is here? 0. So put here 0. 2 zeros are 0. Now here 2 1s are 2. 2 2s are 4. So 1 is left. Here 5 is left. So 2 2s are 4. So 1 is left. So 2 8s are 16. 2 3s are 6. So what is left here? Minus 1283 upon 250. So the answer is minus 1283 upon 250. Are you clear with the division? Okay. You just try out the division. You will come to know how to find out the answer. Very simple. This is like your normal division. Okay, same like a normal division. But instead of doing division, we are doing directly. That's all. Completed? Now let's go for the fourth sum. Take on the fourth question. Take on the fourth sum. 3.17 bar. Sum number 4, 3.17 bar. Write down the bar properly. The bar is only for 7. It is not for 1. Yes? So write down the question properly. 3.17 bar. What is the meaning of this number? The number means 3.177777. Which number is going on repeated? The number 7 is repeated. How you know that number 7 is repeated? Because here a bar is present. Where is the bar present? The bar is present above 7. That means the number 7 is repeated. Yes. So write down the question properly. 3.17 bar. Okay, now let's start with the work. I'm just going to do the steps that we have followed for the previous sum. The first step will be consider x. Okay, you are going to take x. So what will be the value for x? Let x is equal to 3.1777. You can just go on writing as many sevens you want. So x is equal to 3.17777. Clear? Same thing. I have just taken the question part, but here the bar was there. So in place of bar, I have written the value. Okay, children? So 7 bar means 777. Clear? Okay. Now, we have to write the value in forms of rational numbers. So what I'm going to do is, I have told you that just find out the length of the period of decimal and you can just multiply by that number. But here, in this case, what is the thing is, now just see the first sum. The first sum it was like 0.24 bar. Okay, children. So what was the thing is, the whole number was given under bar. This 24 was given under bar. That means this number was only going on repeated. So I just directly multiplied by 100 and I got the answer. But here we have two numbers after decimal point, but the first number is not in the bar. The first number is just alone, and only the second number is going to be repeated. So for such a type, we have to follow another method. Okay, children? We have to follow one extra step. That's all. One or two extra steps we have to follow. That's all. So first of all, what you do is multiply by 10. We have x here. So now what are you going to do? Multiply by 10. Right down here. So 10x, I'm going to multiply by 10. So 10x is equal to, I'm going to multiply by 10. So what will happen if I multiply by 10? The decimal point will move one place ahead. The decimal point is going to move to the right side by one place. Just move by one place, not just move of your wish. So this is 31.777 dot dot dot. Clear? So where is this decimal point moving, children? Since I am multiplying by 10, the decimal point shifts to the right for one place. It is going to shift to the right side. Right side means this side. This is the right side. When you come to this side, this is called as the left side. Going in this direction, right. Going in this direction is the left. Okay. So I got 10x. What is the value for 10x? 31.777. Okay. Now, what I am going to do? Now, whether to stop or whether to continue with one more step. Now, children, just look here carefully. What is the number here? What is the number here? It's 17. Okay. What is the number here? 17. What is the number here? Just look at the number after the decimal point. I hope you are listening to me, children. Listen to me carefully. So first step is x is equal to 3.1777. Now what we have done here? We have multiplied by 10. So when you multiply by 10, what happens? The decimal point shifts to the right side. Right side by one place. So you get 31.77. Okay. Now, I have told you that we may have one step, you may have two steps, or you may have three steps. But let me see whether I have to go for the next step. So how to see that? Now, just look at the number after the decimal point. Okay, children, just see here. What is the number after decimal point? It's 17. Okay. What is the number after decimal point here, children? 77. Okay. So this is 17 and this is 77. So they are not same. Okay. What is the number here? It's 17. What is the number here? 77. So the cancellation is not possible. So what you have to do is, we have to go for one more step. One more step means we have multiplied by 10. Now you're going to multiply by 100. Come on, let's multiply by 100. So 100x. What I'm going to do? I'm going to write 100x. Now children, this is x, okay? So I'm multiplying by 100. So just put here 1. Take this as number 1. Take this as number 2. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to multiply x by 100. That means, don't see this number, okay children? Do not see this number. You have to see only the x part. That means now how many place the number is going to shift? The decimal point is going to shift. Decimal point is going to shift 2 place ahead to the right. Yes, 100. That is 20. That means it is going to shift 2 more places. So 1, 2. See here. So where it comes? 3, 1, 7.77. Dot, dot, dot. That's number 3. Getting the point. So first it was 3.17. Then I multiply by 10. When I multiply by 10, the point shifts to the right for 1 place. Then, okay, so what we have done here? We have taken the value for excess minus 21.213777. You know how to take down this step. Yes, children? Now let's go for the next one. It's 10x. 10x means, what is the meaning of 10x? You're going to multiply by 10. So when you multiply x by 10, you have to multiply this number also. Yes, that means, where is the decimal point going to move? The decimal point is going to move to the front or to the right for 1 place. That means this point is going to come over here. The next place, it is going to shift 1 place ahead. So you get minus 21, that is already present. Now 2 comes here. So this is 1377. So on. This is number 2. Are you clear, children? So where was the point now? The point was after 1. Now where the point will go? The point will go after 2. How many places it is going to shift? It is going to shift 1 place ahead. 1 place to the right side. So I get minus 212.1377. I told you one method to check. Yes, children? Just see the number here. What is the number here? It's 21. And what is the number here? It's 13. So they are different. Yes, children? Just see carefully. What is the number here? 21. You have to see the number after the decimal point. So what is the number after decimal point? It's 21. What is the number after decimal point? It's 13. So they are different. Yes, they are different. So that I will not get 00. Mostly why we do like this is, we should get a 00 after the decimal point. Okay, children. So here I am having a number 21. Here I am having a number 13. So what are we going to do? We are just going to do one more step. What is the next step you have to do? Now multiply by 100. So first we found 10x. Now you have to find out 100x. Okay, let's find out 100x. So what do you get 100x? Let's check for 100x. 100x means the decimal point is going to shift 2 places. So 1, 2. So where will the point? The point will be here after 1. So you get 2121.3777 and so on. What you are doing? Now we are multiplying by 100. 100 means the point is going to shift how many places? 2 places to the right. So it was after 1. So it will come, it will shift 2 places. So 1, 2. So it is going to come here after 1. This after 1. Okay, not after this one. So you get 2121.377. Are you clear? Okay. Now let's check the numbers after the decimal point. What is the number here? It's 13. And what is the number here? It's 37. Again they are different. Yes, children, see. What is the number after decimal point? 13. And what is the number after decimal point here? 37. So they are different. So we will not get the answer 00. Okay. So we are going to do one more step. Let's do one more step. What are we going to do? We are going to find out 1000x. I found 10x. I found 100x. Now I am going to find 1000x. Okay. What is the meaning of 1000x? You are going to shift the decimal point to 3 places. So here is the decimal point. So 1, 2, 3. Yes, it's going to come here. So write down minus 21213. The decimal point is going to come here after 3. 0.77. 7, no problem. You can write 2, 3, it's your wish. I told you the number 7. This is of our choice. I can just write as many number of 7 because the number 7 is repeated. Okay, I'll put here number 4. So what I get? 21,213.77. Okay. Now, okay, let us have a small check here. Let's see the number after the decimal point. What is the number after decimal point here? 37. And what is the number here? 77. Again, they are different. Yes, children? This is 37 and this is 77. So, can we get a 0, 0? No. So, what you have to do? We have to do one more step. Let's do one more step here. I'll do 10,000. So, we have found 1000x. Now, we are going to find out 10,000x. What is the meaning of 10,000x? 1, 2, 3, 4. That means the decimal point is going to shift how many places more? 4 places. So this is here. Yes, the decimal point is here. So it is going to shift 4 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to come here. What do you get? Minus 212137.77 dot dot dot. It's number 5. So now what do you get? Just let's read this number. So what is this number? I'll just give a proper comma over here. So you get 2 lakh, that is minus 2 lakh 12,137.77. Getting my point? So what do you get? Minus 2.12,137.77. Okay, now let me check for the numbers after the decimal point, whether I have to stop or whether I have to take one more number. Okay, now I'll just see the number after the decimal point. What is the number after decimal point? 77. Okay. What is the number after decimal point? 77. Yes. That means we are going to stop the multiplication. Are you getting my point? So we have arrived at the number. Same number after the decimal point. 7777. So we can stop here. Getting my point? Are you clear with the step now? So first the number was x. Now then what you have to do? We started on multiplying. What is the first number we took? We took 10. Yes. 10 means you are going to shift the decimal point one place ahead or one place to the right. For 100, 2 places. For 1000, 3 places. For 10,000, 4 places. One more thing. You have to go on checking the number after the decimal point. Here it's 2, 1. Here it's 1, 3. So not possible. So we have to do one more step. Now then I did 1, 3, then 3, 7. Not possible. Again they are different. So we have to take one more step. Now 3, 7 and 7, 7. So they are not equal. So again one more step. So 7, 7 and 7, 7. Yes. So we have got the same number after the decimal point. So we can stop the multiplication over here. Now what are we going to do is, we are going to subtract these two numbers. Which two numbers? 5 and 4. So let us write down here. 5 minus 4. Always take a bigger number minus smaller number. So what is the number here? It's 10,000. Yes, student? So write down properly. 10,000x. And what are you going to write down here? 1000x. So write down properly the numbers below. So 10,000 minus 1000x. This is equal to, what is the value for 10,000? This is minus 212,137.77. 2,12,137.77. And what you get here? It's a 5-digit number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start from here. This is equal to 21213. That is 21,213.77. Again the sign is minus. Okay. You have minus sign, minus sign. Add on the numbers properly, children. Do not make mistake. Copy the numbers properly. Have you taken the numbers? Okay. Now let's see how to calculate further. Now you may have a number here minus minus. You may have a confusion how to do the sum with minus minus. If you have only a number, we can directly subtract and we can get the answer. Now since we are dealing with minus, okay children, this is a thing that you'll be studying in your next lesson also. You'll be having a study of this in the third chapter. Okay, you'll be studying how to change the sign and why we are changing the sign. So when you do minus, okay children, when you do minus, the sign of the second term changes. Remember this thing. When you do minus, what happens? The sign of the second term changes. So what is the sign here? It is minus. So it will turn to plus. What will happen to this minus sign? It will change to plus sign. Why it is changing to plus sign? Because you are going to do the subtraction. See here children, this is just a rule that we have used in the integers. If you have 2 minus of minus, okay, if we do 2 minus of minus 3, what happens here? 2 minus minus will turn to plus. That means the minus sign changes to plus sign. If you have 2 minus of plus 4, if you have 2 minus plus 4, that means minus plus will become minus. Remember, when you have a minus sign, that is whenever you are going to do the subtraction, the sign of the second number changes. Remember this thing. This is very, very important thing that you have to remember. So now here what happens? The minus will change into plus. The second number, don't change the first number, okay? You have to change only the second number. So the minus sign will change to plus. So what is the answer for minus plus? Minus plus means we are going to do minus alone. What is the meaning of minus plus? Minus plus means you are going to do minus. That means you have to subtract these two numbers. Very simple thing. What was the number here? It was minus minus. Now what are we going to do here? We are going to do subtraction. So when you do subtraction, the sign of the second number should change. Will change always, remember. The plus will change to minus. The minus will change to plus. So the minus sign will change to plus. Okay. Now, what is the sign here? It is minus. You should not take this minus sign, okay? You should take the new sign. What is the new sign we got? Plus. So what is minus into plus? Minus into plus is minus. Remember children? What is minus into plus? Minus. Minus into minus? Plus. Plus into plus? Plus. And plus into minus? Minus. That means if you have different sign, minus plus plus minus, the answer is minus. When you have different sign, the answer is minus, and when you have same sign, the answer is plus. Minus minus plus, plus plus plus. When you have different sign, the answer you get is minus, and when you have a same sign, you get the answer as plus. Keep this in your mind. Okay, so now what you have to do? Minus into plus, minus. So we have to do subtraction. So let us subtract the number. So what I get here? 0. 7 minus 7, 0. 7 minus 3, 4. Be careful children. 3 minus 1, 2. 1 is not, like you cannot subtract 2 from 1. Yeah? So I'll just borrow from here. So this becomes 1. And this turns to be 11. So what is 11 minus 2? It's 9. 1 minus 1, 0. I cannot subtract 2 from 1. I'll borrow from the previous number. So this turns to be 1 and this becomes 11. 11 minus 2, it's 9. So 1 is left here, so it's 1. So I get 1,90,924.00. And let me subtract this part. This is x here equal to 0 minus 0, 0, 0 and 10 minus 1 is 9. So 9,000 x is equal to 1,90,924. Let me write the answer, final answer. Therefore, 9,000 x is equal to 1,90,924. You know how to read the number, yes children? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000 and lakh. So 1,90,924. 90,924. So now let's write the final answer. Therefore, x is equal to, take this number down. So you get 1,90,924 on 9,000. We can have a further simplification. Check on the answers, children. Okay. So now here, so we have to just do one more addition over here. So one more thing we have to do. So we have found the answer. Yes. Now, just come to the subtraction part once again, children. Just come to the subtraction part. Now we have just found the answer. Okay, we got the answer 9,000. I got the value over here. But now here one more thing is left out. What is the thing left out? We have to see the sign of the bigger number. Okay, I'll just tell you one more thing here. If you are doing a sum like 3 minus 4. Okay, children, what is the number you are going to do? You're going to subtract 3 from 4. Okay, you're going to subtract. Actually, you're going to subtract 4 from 3. 4 minus 3 means you say subtracting 3 from 4. The second number should be taken first. Subtract 3 from 4. So here what you say? Subtract 4 from 3. So now it's 3 minus 4. Okay, so how to find out the answer? 3 minus 4 means plus minus. What is the sign here? This is plus, this is minus. So I have to subtract. What is the answer? What is the answer for 4 minus 3? It is 1. Okay. Okay, we have a plus sign, we have a minus sign. What is the sign here? Plus. If no sign is mentioned, you have to take it as plus. Plus minus gives you minus. Okay. So I am going to find out the difference. What is the answer? 4 minus 3 is 1. Okay, done. I got the answer 1. So we have got the answer. Now we have to add one more thing here. What is the thing we have to do? We have to see the sign of the bigger number. Now from this two number, tell me the bigger number, children. Which is the bigger number here? Very good. It's 4. What is the bigger number here? 4. So what is the sign of 4? It's minus. So what is be the answer? Minus 1. Very simple. I'll just give you one more sum. If you have 4 minus 8. Okay, let us do 4 minus 8. What is the sign here? It's plus. What is the sign here? It's minus. So plus minus, when you have two different signs, what you should do? Minus. So what is the difference? What is 8 minus 4? 4. Difference means bigger number minus smaller number. Okay, children? So 8 minus 4 gives you 4. Okay, I'll put here 4. Okay, done. Now you have to see the sign of the bigger number. Which is the bigger number here? 8 is the bigger number. So what is the sign you're going to put? Minus. What is the answer? Minus 4. Here, okay, let us go for one more sum. Minus 3 minus 6. Let's go for the next example. What is it? Minus 3 minus 6. Minus minus plus. I have told you, if you have same sign, you're going to do plus. If you have different sign, you have to do minus. Remember this in your mind, children? So minus minus will make you, or it will give you plus. Yes, minus minus plus. Okay. Now, so plus means I have to add. What is 3 plus 6? It is 9. Okay, done. Now, what is the next thing you're going to do? You're going to write the sign of the bigger number. Which is the bigger number here? 6 is the bigger number. So, what is the sign of 6? It's minus. So, the answer is minus 9. Clear? Okay. Now, okay, I'll just give you one more sum. Minus 4 plus 10. What are we going to do? Minus 4 plus 10. What is minus 4 plus 10, children? What are the two signs here? What are the two signs? Minus plus. What is it? Minus plus. We have two different signs, minus and plus. If you have two different signs, what you have to do? Minus. Okay. So what is the difference? 10 minus 4? 6. Okay, done. I got the answer. 10 minus 4 is 6. Okay, work is done. Now one more thing is left. What is that? We have to see the sign of the bigger number. What is the bigger number here? 10. What is the sign of 10? Plus. So no need to put any sign. You can just put here plus 6, or we can say simply 6. One and the same. Clear, children? Are you clear with the integers? Okay. So same manner, We are just going to come over here. Let's see this sum. We have minus plus. So what we have to do? Minus. We did the subtraction. Now just tell me which is the bigger number. This number or this number? 2,12,137.77 or 21,213.77. Of course, the lakh number will be bigger number. So what is the sign of this number? Minus. What is the sign? Minus. So the answer will be minus. Just put your minus sign, children. Very simple thing. Just put a minus sign near your answer. So it's minus 1 lakh 90,924.00. I'll just put here again minus sign. So wherever you have the value, just put a minus sign. That's all. So you can just go for the simplification, or we can stop the sum over here because this is a little bigger number, yes, student? So we can keep the number as just keep the number as it is. So I write down the final answer as x is equal to minus 1 lakh 90,924 upon 9,000. Okay, take down the answer. I hope you are clear with the sign, children. Okay. Children, you have some homework work. Take down your homework page. Have you completed the sums? Okay. Take down the homework page. I'll give you some extra questions. Write down homework questions. You have to take your homework page, children. Come on, already I have given you one sum from question number 4. What is that? It's the fifth sub part. I have given you the fifth sub part. And just take down some more sums. Simplify. Minus 3 plus 8. Minus 3 minus 8. Minus 3. 3 minus 8. 3 plus 8. Minus 3 plus 0 minus. Read on the numbers. Read on the homework sum. And you are going to do one more sum over here. This first question. Question number 2. This read on the question. I'll give you one more question. Zero point 578 bar in terms of rational. Here the bar is for 7 8. Okay, the bar is not for whole number. The bar is only for 7 8. 0.578 bar in terms of rational numbers. We are going to change the decimal number in terms of rational number. Very same procedure that we have followed for the previous sums. Multiply by 10, then multiply by 100. Just check whether you get the same number after the decimal point. If you get the same number, you can stop. If you don't get the same number, you have to go for one more step. That's all. Complete and get your answer. Have you copied the question, children? Get on the question. Simplify. Minus 3 plus 8. Minus 3 minus 8. 3 minus 8. 3 plus 8. Minus 3 plus 0. 0 minus 3. Then second question is you are going to express 0.578 bar in terms of rational number. Okay, done? Have you taken down the question? This question you have to take down in your homework page, homework note. We have already divided the book into two, yes, one for classwork and one for homework. So this you are going to write down in your homework part. Done, children? Are you completed? Okay. Have you completed? Okay, let's come back to our classwork. Take down your classwork, children. Come back to your classwork. Write down the fifth question. Write down the fifth question. It's today's work only, okay? You have to do along with the sum. You're going to do the sum also. Write down fifth question. Write down the fifth question. Without actual division, find which of the following rational numbers have terminating decimal expansion. So we are going to check whether the rational number is a terminating decimal expansion without division. We are not going to divide, okay? We are just going to try a new method to find out whether the answer is going to be a terminating decimal expansion or not. Write down the question first. Without actual division, find which of the following rational numbers have terminating decimal expansion. Take the first sum as 7 upon 128. First sum is 7 upon 128. This is the first. Have we taken the first sum? Okay. Now let's see what to do further. Now here we are going to write down this sum in one form. Okay, we have to write down a form over here. I'll tell you what is the form. Before we go to the form, what you are going to do is you are going to take the denominator part. What is the denominator over here? 128. Now we have to factorize this 128. Let's factorize 128. Just there, near the question you can factorize it. We know the number is 8 here, so it goes to the table of 2. So 2, 6 are 12, 2 4s are 8. Again the last digit is 4, 2, 3s are 6, 2 2s are 4. 2, 2 1s are 2, 2 1s are 2, 1 is left. Yes, 3 is here. So 2 1s are 2, 1 is left. 2 6 are 12. 2 8s are 16. 2 4s are 8. 2 2s are 4. 2 1s are. So 2, we started with 128. 2 6 are 12. 2 4s are 8. 2 3s are 6. 2 2s are 4. 2 1s are 2. Here 3 is there. So 3 minus 2, 1 is left. So I'll take this one here. 2 6 are 12. So 16. 2 8s are 16. 2 4s are 8. 2 2s are 4. 2 1s are. So how many 2s you have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So write down this is equal to 7 upon 2 raised to 7. Okay, just write down here. 7 upon 2 raised to 7. How I have written 128? The 128 is written as 2 raised to 7. How many times you have 2? You have 7 times 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How to write down? 2 raised to 7. You have done this in your 8th standard. We have just written how to write down the numbers in form of power. Okay, if a number is given, means you can write down the number in terms of power. So how have you written 128? We have written 128 as 202 raised to 7. So the number 2 is being repeated 7 times. So instead of writing 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, we have write as 2 raised to 7. What is the meaning? How to read this? 2 raised to 7 or 2 power 7. One and the same. Okay, now here I have going to do one more thing. I'm just going to write down here 5 raised to. What I'm going to do? I'm going to write down 5 raised to 0. What is the meaning of 5 raised to 0? What is the value for 5 raised to 0, children? We have seen the law of indices. Do you remember the law? What was the law? A raised to 0 is equal to 1. That is anything raised to 0. If you write any number raised to 0, that is equal to 1. Already we have used this in our first chapter. Yes, children? Finding the number of subsets and number of proper subsets. So a raised to 0 is 1. Anything raised to 0 gives you 1. Keep this in your mind. So now here 5 raised to 0 means 1. That means this number has no value. What is the answer for 5 raised to 0? It is 1. So what is the actual answer you have? 2 raised to 7. So what is the extra thing we are adding here? We are adding 5 raised to 0. Now you may have a confusion. Why we are adding 5 raised to 0 here? Now for that you have to refer page number, stayed on page number 51. Take page 51. Okay, have you taken page 51, children? Can you see a box over there? Below the note, you have a box. If a rational number, p upon q, q not equal to 0. Okay, so this is a rational number. If this rational number can be expressed in the form, okay, if this can be expressed in the form p upon 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n. If you are able to write this in the form of p upon 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n, then you call it as a terminating decimal expansion. So what you can call it as? Terminating decimal expansion. You getting my point? That means what you have to do? You have to write down the denominator part as 2 power and 5 power. So we have to be able. So we should be able to write down in terms of the power like 2 raised to m. So base should be 2. The base should be 5. So I got the base for 2. I got 2 raised to 7. But I was not having for 5. So what I did? I wrote 5 raised to 0. But I should not have any other base. Like I should not have here 3 or I should not have here 7 and so on. Only the 2 bases are allowed. What are the 2 bases you can have? You can have 2 and you should have 2 and also 5. So what we have got here? We have got 7 upon 2 raised to 7 into 5 raised to 0. Clear? Write down here. This is of the form. This is of the form p upon 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n. Therefore, 7 upon 128 has a terminating decimal expansion. Okay. So what we have done, we have found the answer. That's all. We have checked without division. I did not go for the division. Without division, I found whether the answer is going to be terminating decimal expansion. So how I am getting this answer? We have to just take the denominator part. You have to factorize it. So once you factorize it, you get 2 raised to 7. But I want the form 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n. I was not having a base of 5. So I have just introduced here 5 raised to 0. What is the meaning of 5 raised to 0? It's 1. That means it is having only the value. It's not the numbers are the values are not changed. So 2 raised to 7 into 5 raised to 0. That means I have 2 raised to m. That is what is the m value here? 7. I have 5 raised to n. What is the value for n here? 0. This is of the form p upon what is p here? P is 7. This is of the form p upon 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n. Therefore, 7 upon 128 has a terminating expansion. Just write down the sum, children. I'll just give you one more example. You may have, this is okay. This was clear to you, yes? I'll just give you one more example. No need to take it, okay? Suppose 7 upon 35. What is the number we have? 7 upon 35. Now, what you have to do? You have to take the denominator. Let us factorize it 35. 5 sevens are 35. Last number is 5, yes? So you can divide by 5. So 5 sevens are 35. 7 goes in the table of 7 only. Now what is the number you have? 5 and 7. 7 upon 5. Yes. So 7 gets cancelled. So now what is left here? 1 upon 5. That means you can put here 5 raised to 1. Now which number is missing, children? I am having 5, yes. Now which number is missing? 2 is missing. So what we can do here? 2 raised to 0. So we have 2 raised to m. We have 5 raised to n. We have p. What is p here? P is 1. What is 2 here? 2. What is m here? 0. 5 is the base. What is n here? N. So we can write down in the form of p upon 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n. So you can call this 7 upon 35 as a terminating decimal expansion. Okay, we'll be just doing more sums. We just go on doing with more sums. We'll get an idea what is actually this sum. Okay, so remember the thing is You have to get this form. What is the form you have to get? You have to get the form 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n. If you get this form, you can say the number is terminating decimal expansion. If you are not getting this form, you should say that it is not a terminating decimal expansion. Okay, children? So have you noted down your homeworks? So what was the homework for you? From exercise 2.2, question number 4, the fifth subpart, and I have given you some extra questions. Yes, children? So you have to complete your homeworks, and we will be continuing with the remaining sums in the next class.